This ain't cheddar, this quiche.
Welcome to Kanye West Rank, the series where we rank each song off of Kanye West's various albums. Today we're going to be ranking Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign's subsequent collaboration album, VULTURES 2, which was released in 2024. I'll also be including tracks from the deluxe version of the album. I'll put a little caveat on that, which we'll revisit later. Now before we begin, I'd like to go over a few rules. First of all, I'm going to be ranking on a 10-point scale. I won't be considering any short interludes or skits on these lists. I should also mention that this video is being recorded on August 8th, which means that any potential adjustments to songs that occur beyond this date won't be taken into account in my reviews. That might sound confusing, and that's because it is. This album is a real piece of work. And as always, please understand that this is my opinion. So let's get started. Coming in at number 15, we have Bomb with a 1.5. We're making history today, folks. This is the lowest ranking I've ever awarded to a song in 2 years of making these videos. I thought we had sort of ticked the box for the cute throwaway song with Kanye's children. Didn't we do that on the last album? Apparently not, because Northwest is back, and this time she's accompanied by her 6-year-old sister. What could go wrong?
I like to have fun. I like to go to the beach. I like the sun. You know.
Kanye is barely on this song, only providing some humming noises in the background. Meanwhile, Ty is completely absent, which is really weird for a collab album. The only reason this song isn't a 0 is because the beat is at least something. Everything else is just confusing, mindless slop. Coming in at number 14, we have Forever, also known as Maybe, with a 4.8. The fact that the name of this song was inexplicably changed after the release of the album shows you just how crisp and clean everything about this rollout has been. This song is just pointless and boring, and there are very few good things happening on this track. Kanye is once again barely on it, like mumbling through a couple of lines right towards the end. A lot of the tracks on this album not only sound unfinished, but they also feel like they lack an identity. Like there has to be a point being made by each song, or at least a story being told. But a number of songs fall into this category of not really knowing what they're trying to achieve. In at number 13, we have Lifestyle with a 5.4. It's such a shame about this song. It sounded incredible in the leaks, and then they went and completely overhauled it for no reason. Lil Wayne's feature is excellent, but you can barely hear it over this clunky, blaring beat in the background. It's like conceptually this song was there, but then they fumbled at the 1-yard line. Now let's talk about the ending. Kanye decided to add an additional song onto the end of this track, but get this, the song that he added is the song that immediately precedes Lifestyle, with no changes or anything, just a lifestyle sandwich with husband bread. At number 12, we have Husband with a 5.8. This song isn't bad, it's just sort of boring. I think Kanye might have been going for somewhat of a only one kind of vibe on this song, singing a pretty passionate ballad to Bianca with very little production. That lack of production really brings out the lip smacking, and once again, Ty is just nowhere to be found. This is something that you save for like a single or a solo album. Or just write it to your wife and don't release it at all. I wouldn't lose sleep over that. At number 11, we have My Soul with a 6.0. This song is likely very personal to Ty Dolla $ign, as it features a verse from his brother TC. For reference, TC is the guy in the picture frame on the, mind you, very pixelated album cover. I suppose it aligns thematically with what little theme exists within this project, but this song is pretty good, and it acts as a decent outro for the album. At number 10, we have Sky City with a 6.5. Oh, Sky City? That name sounds a little bit like City in the Sky from Yandhi. Oh! It is City in the Sky from Yandhi. What the fuck? You might remember me talking about this song in my unreleased Kanye video from a couple months ago, and seeing it here now with a 6.5, you might be confused. This song got butchered. While yes, a lot of the broad strokes have remained the same, a lot of the features, including Kid Cudi, have all been taken off the project for release. And that's not even the greatest sin this song commits. This song is home to, get this, an AI Kanye verse. I wish I were joking. If you listen closely, Kanye's first verse is very clearly a sci-hi reference track that they ran through a Kanye voice AI model. Now, I couldn't begin to speculate why he did this. What the hell was stopping him from just getting into the booth one time and recording it himself? Is he really that lazy? And as much as I love this song, I can't really in good conscience give it anything higher than a 6.5 knowing that he did that. And I understand that if you didn't know all of that background and context, this song is probably one of your favorites off this album. I'm just a sore winner. I know what it could have been. At number 9, we have Time Moving Slow with a 6.8. This song marks the return of the Inter Milan Ultras, who last made their mark on Carnival from Vultures 1. This song has a very different feel from Carnival, however, which makes their inclusion a little bit odd, but I suppose not unwelcome. However, since the release of this song, a lot of fans have shared their complaints, mostly surrounding the production of this song. Apparently some fans felt misled by some of the leaks of this song, as the production on the release version was not quite what they expected. This is what a lot of fans call snippet syndrome, where hearing an in-progress leak increases expectations and skews opinions upon release. Now personally, I think that the release version was actually better than the leaks, but people will always find something to complain about. Kanye's first verse on this song is pretty bad, but the second one is better. However, the vocoded bridge between the two verses, where Kanye just sort of whimpers and grunts on the mic, sucks! I think I saw a comment somewhere on TikTok saying something along the lines of, "When you did it on Runaway for 3 minutes straight, you guys glazed it. How is this any different?" These two things are not the same. I do not want to be subjected to Ye molesting the mic. At number 8, we have Dead with a 7.0. Future puts the team on his back for this song, and it's not the last time he's going to do this on the album. The production in terms of melody is pretty minimal on this song, but the percussion is pretty cool. I think Kanye's verse isn't bad, it's just weird. There's not a whole lot that I have to say about this one. It's on the upper half of the album for sure, but still not a real standout track. At number 7, we have Fried with a 7.5. This song isn't bad, but it is hurt by one painful fact. Carnival did it first. With yet another return from the Ultras, this song goes for a very Carnival-like feel. The problem is, we all know how that panned out last time. It is interesting, however, to hear Ty screaming his head off on this song. Usually he's like this nonchalant, deep-voiced guy who just gets freaky on the hooks. I just thought it was kind of funny. It feels out of character. When he screams, he sounds like Mr. Krabs. At number 6, we have Forever Rolling with a 7.7. Everyone sound the alarm! Kanye's actually trying on a verse! A little flash of the old Kanye comes out every time he raps like this. Unfortunately, the Lil Baby feature is a complete snooze fest. And so I think this song was really close to being something special, but unfortunately just fell a bit short. At number 5, we have Slide with a 7.8. This track serves as the album's opener, and a pretty unique one at that. It is certainly one of the more finished sounding tracks on the album. You'd hope that the first thing you hear from an album would sound at least somewhat polished. But I like how the name, the production, and the lyrics all sort of tie into each other. And the percussion, coupled with Kanye's rhythmic delivery of each line, makes for a very catchy and engaging listen. At number 4, we have 530 with an 8.0. Just when you didn't think it could get more interesting. 530? That sounds familiar. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, I fucking called it! This highly coveted leak from 2022 finally made its way onto an official album, but upon release, it's literally just the leak. Ripped straight from YouTube, in terrible quality. What are we doing? City in the Sky and 530 officially release on the same album, and somehow I'm frustrated. Thankfully, with some of the post-release adjustments to this album, the quality has been upscaled, as well as the addition of a surprise return of Alvin from Vultures 1. Now, the beat switch verse still is mumble as of the recording of this video, but I think that's okay. I've been listening to the leak version for so long that I have the mumble verse virtually memorized. At the number 3 spot, we have Promotion with an 8.3. Is it time to talk about the feature run that Future has had this year? I'm ready for the conversation. Kanye sounds great, Ty sounds great, this song is solid. And my only weakness is Kanye rehashing his old lines in new songs. It really shouldn't work as well as it does, but every time he does it...
Baby girl, hop in, we going everywhere but broke. Like we always do with this time. I go for mine.
At the number 2 spot, we have Field Trip with an 8.5. Now, this album is projected to tank in terms of sales, at least by Kanye West standards, and that's partially because there was virtually no rollout and therefore very little hype built around the album, but also because there wasn't one singular breakout hit like Carnival was for Vultures 1. Despite that, I do predict that this will be the most streamed song from this album. A couple of solid features from Cardi, Don Toliver, and Kodak all hold this one together, and Kanye doesn't detract from it too much. It's one of the few songs on this album that really sounds fully formed. And in at our number 1 spot, we have River with an 8.7. I feel like this song could convert anyone into a Young Thug fan. I love the percussion before and after the post-release adjustments. Kanye's part is so catchy and beautiful, the way that it just glides over the melody. Ty Dolla $ign and Charlie Wilson partner up on the outro of this song to send it off on a sweet and elegant note. When a song is well-structured, well-produced, and well-performed, you end up with an actually good piece of art. I just don't know why we can't do that every time. And so we find ourselves at the end of this album's basic version, the version you can find on all streaming services. However, over the past few days, 5 additional tracks were made available for purchase exclusively on Yeezy.com. As I was writing the script, I debated whether I wanted to add these 5 songs into the ranking with all of the rest. However, seeing as there was a paywall to listen to them and they're no longer even available on the site, I didn't feel like it made sense. So I bought all 5 of them and created this segment. Beginning our ranking of the deluxe tracks, we have Believer with a 4.2. There's no way around it, this song is just plain unfinished. It's mixed very poorly and lacks a proper contribution from Kanye. There's what seems like an open verse on it too. The last minute and a half of the song is dedicated to just the instrumental, as if there was a verse meant to be dropped in that place, and yet there's nothing. I know I'm such a sucker for buying this thing, but I feel like I have some sort of a duty to fulfill in these videos. Next up, we have Drunk with a 6.7. I'm thinking if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have bought this one either, but I'm still on the fence about that. The features are intriguing and actually work pretty nicely together, but once again, poor mixing and unfinished concepts plague this track. This song also lacks a Kanye verse. Or a Kanye anything for that matter. I know we usually have a rule about requiring Kanye to be on the song for me to include it in the ranking, but I spent $5 on this thing, so I get to break the rules this time. Next up, we have Can You Be with a 7.5. What is going on? City in the Sky, 5:30, and Can You Be all on the same album. It seems that in a last-ditch effort to boost sales for this album, the big red button was pressed. And now the most infamous Kanye leak has found its way onto an official release. Alright, with all the fanfare out of the way, can we talk about how weird this is for a second? Like, Kanye is just seemingly emptying his whole vault onto this album for no reason. It feels really uncanny and like out of character that he would just give us all these songs unprompted. Especially Can You Be, which he has stated in the past he no longer likes or intended to ever release. But looking past all of the conspiracy, I am actually happy to see this song finally come out. Next up on the deluxe, we have Gun to My Head with an 8.8. And just like that, we're back. After a shaky couple of years, Kanye West and Kid Cudi are officially on a song together once again, and I couldn't be happier. Cudi's individual contribution to the song isn't major, but I love to see these two making music again. There's not much else I have to say, this one's just great. And finally, to round out the deluxe tracks on this album, we have Take Off Your Dress with a 9.1. The first verse on this song is one of the best Kanye verses that we've got out of the entire Vultures era. And his second verse is even better. It's almost like breathing a sigh of relief to hear that he can still rap like this. Between 2 incredible Kanye verses, a great contribution from Ty Dolla $ign, and this beautiful, elegant sample, this is a masterpiece among turds. When Kanye just sticks to his guns and finishes a song the right way, we end up with gems like these. And that completes our list. Thanks for watching this edition of Kanye West Ranked. As of this video's recording, Vultures 2 is the most recent Kanye album. However, the third and final installment is still presumably in the pipeline with the potential to release in the coming months. So consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you won't miss what's next. Thanks again, and have a good one.